Guarantee this one is going to be one that everybody's been asking questions about ever since 2016, and even when I answered it a few times, they still question it. So, this is going to be a WWE Sins explanation that everybody would love to see. What is up, my optimistic army? My YouTube account makes the introduction unnecessary, yet I'll delight you with one anyway. I'm Christian Maracle. Okay, now you know who I am. And this is another edition of WWE Sins Explanations. So this is not going to be something like a catchphrase or a certain thing I say, like a certain phrase, like the Hulu or copyright infringement. This is actually going to be an explanation of why I do certain things. In this case, why do I refer to the wrestlers by their first names when everybody refers to their last names? Why do I refer to Seth freaking Rollins as Seth instead of Rollins? Everybody calls him Rollins. I could just call him Seth. Why do people do that? Or at least, why do you do that? Don't you know everybody calls them by their last names? Well, guess what? You guys, I've said it a few times on why, but for those who obviously never pay attention, here's the video of the explanation of it. I figured it'd be a good addition to WWE Sins Explanations. Now, this first started out because, growing up, when I was growing up, I was like taught that referring to people by just their last names, but nothing else, is disrespectful. Because, like, it's showing disrespect. Even despite the fact that Seth Rollins is not a real person, and Kobe Lopez is the real person who plays Seth Rollins. What I'm trying to say here is, it's just how I was raised. How I was raised, referring to doctors or teachers by their last names, you're putting in Doctor or Mr. or Mrs. before you say their last name. So you're actually saying something as a first name. So in other words, it doesn't really qualify. At least that's what I was told. The way I was raised and everything, I watched wrestling since 1999. Everybody who sees the wrestlers, they refer to them by their last names. Like Chris Jericho, they just call him Jericho. Randy Orton, they call him Orton. John Cena, they just call him Cena. Me, on the other hand, Seth Rollins, I call him Seth. John Cena, I call him John. Randy Orton, call him Randy. Brock Lesnar, call him Brock. It's because, the way I see it, referring to people by just their last names, whether it's storyline name, fake, or real, is disrespectful. And that's why I refer to people like that. I refer to people as, okay, I said Seth Rollins way too many times. AJ Styles, I just call him AJ. Baron Corbin, just call him Baron. But a big exception, of course, would be CM Punk or The Big Show. Because, honestly, those aren't really names. Those are just, like, sentences. The Big Show feels more like a sentence than a real name here. CM Punk. First of all, like CM Punk saying CM, I did that one time, and it just sounded really bad. And honestly, I was like, CM. I'm just saying initials here. Just saying initials. Punk. Might as well. Or I'll just simply say CM Punk. But I think one of the big ones that everybody keeps asking me why I do this is Triple H. Do I call him Triple? Do I call him H? No. I call him Hunter. Because that's the first H in Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Triple H. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I call him Hunter because, honestly, saying just Triple or Triple H all the time, everybody says, I say Triple H just to start things off so people know what I'm talking about. But then I revert to Hunter because, honestly, from my point of view, it just feels a lot more easier. A lot more easier for me to recite my sins. Because a lot of times, in my earlier days of making sin videos, whenever I mention Triple H, I always end up fucking up the sin. Hey, so Triple H is he's going for the top elbow off the top rope, and Triple H is going to count, because, the way I'm saying Triple H, all of a sudden I start getting tongue twisters and I start fucking things up. However, if I reverted it to Hunter, I give that a shot. I was like, alright, let's give it a shot, let's see how it works. Dive an elbow off the top rope, and Hunter's going to counter. And, well, there we go. It started becoming a thing where I just call him Hunter. Another one would be Bautista. I call him Dave. Dave Bautista. And yes, I know David Bautista is his real name. despite the fact that in his ring name, Bautista is just his name. However, many wrestlers and commentators have referred to him as Dave as well, Dave Bautista, so it's semi-part of his ring name, and hence why I say Dave Bautista. There you go. For the wrestlers who just have simply one word in their name, like Goldberg, Edge, Sheamus, nothing really changes there. There's not really much really changes at all, but there you guys go. You guys now know why I refer to wrestlers by their first names. Is because sometimes it makes me fuck up the lines just by saying the last names. The other times is because I was raised and it was found, the way I was raised, it was found to be disrespectful to just refer to people as their last name, and that's it, because honestly it feels like a demand or something. Hey, it's like something you say when you're in trouble or something like that. Hey, Maracle! Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Like, here's the thing, if I was if I ended up becoming a wrestler and I joined the WWE, people would just call me Maracle, right? Instead of just Christian or Christian Maracle. Actually, they wouldn't call me Christian because they'd be thinking they'd be confusing me with the other wrestler named Christian. Yeah, those things can happen. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this was WWE Sins Explanations. Why I refer to wrestlers by their first names instead of their last names. Hope you enjoyed this one. This has become a weekly thing now, hopefully, unless of course there's something else going on, in which case I won't have time to do an episode of this. Do not forget to be optimistic, show your optimism, and think optimistically. I'm Christian Maracle, voice of Cinema Sins 2 Expansion, and leader of the Optimistic Army. You guys are the Optimistic Army, the best fans in the world. Hope you enjoyed this video, and leave down in the comments below what other explanations you want me to do for WWE Sins Explanations.